you to bless our meeting, that we do the things that you find pleasing in your sight. We ask all in Christ's name before you say amen.
Amen. John, do you want to say the pledge?
Sure. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary Ann, do you have roll call?
Chair Harris. Vice Chair Morrell.
Here.
Mr. Purrier. Here. Mayor Brown. Councilwoman George.
Here.
Mr. Strouder.
Here.
Mr. Thompson.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Secretary, have prior minutes for approval?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have minutes dated March 4th, 2024, Planning Commission work session, and minutes dated March 25th, 2024, Planning Commission meeting notes, and I submit to approve, no changes.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
Good. All right. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. Okay, we have next item on the agenda is public comment on agenda-related items. And we'll open the floor to the public at this time. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And we'll move on to our consent agenda. So we have 5 items on the consent agenda tonight. Those items, I'll read those items off here briefly. Item number 1 is GMPC resolution number 2024-034 is surety renewals and extensions for the city of Gallatin. Item number 2 is GMPC resolution number 2024-049. It's Vineyard Concord Drive, acceptance of public improvements, Joe Godfrey. Item number 3 is GMPC resolution number 2024-036. It is McCain Station Residential Phase 2B, final plat for Reagan Smith Associates. And number 4 is McCain Station Residential Phase 2C, final plat for Reagan Smith Associates. Item number 5 is GMPC resolution number 2024-038, Walnut Crest Townhomes, final plat for Evergreen Development. Mary Ann, I will say I will have to recuse myself from item number 5 and will not be voting on that item. Before we go to a vote, is there any motion or discussion?
Mr. Chairman, report to you, I need to recuse myself from item 11, the TSN grasslands.
So that's in the regular agenda?
Regular.
Okay.
Item 11, you said.
Yeah, the TSN
Yeah.
grasslands.
So this will be for the consent agenda approval for items 1 through 5.
Move we accept it.
Okay. I have for the consent agenda? We did before.
close it?
Yeah, I closed it. Yes, sir. No one stood up. It's okay. Okay, so we have a motion from Albert. Do we have a
I'll
second?
second it.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, passes. Okay, now we'll move on to the regular agenda for item number 6. This will be GMPC resolution number 2024-042, Chandler Marketplace, final master development plan. Staff, who's presenting this item?
Jim Carpenter, staff planner. The owner and applicant request approval of a final master development plan for Chandler Marketplace infrastructure containing one private drive on a portion of a parcel totaling 42.48 acres located north of Harris Lane and east of Greenlee Boulevard. So this FMDP is just for the private drive and some associated stormwater infrastructure. And it separates it out from the approved FMDPs that are the apartments and hotel projects for this development. Staff recommends approval of resolution number 2024-042 with 9 conditions.
Chairman, I would like to mention that we're still working through the traffic impact study. There's a couple of off-site improvements that we're working through with them specifically regarding the eastbound 386 ramp. So we're working with them. We're okay with the infrastructure as shown going through and even being constructed, but we'll want, before site plans are approved, we'll want to make sure the traffic impact study is improved.
Okay. And that would be site plans for the other parcels themselves?
That's
Correct? Okay.
That's correct.
Is there a representative for the applicant here to speak today? If you would, state your name and address for the record.
Wesley Pointer, Arnold Consultant. You said my address,
Yes, sir.
205 Rumsey Street, Smith Grove, Kentucky.
Okay. Do you have any questions to engineering or staff? Do you agree with staff's comments? Okay. Anything else, Aaron?
I don't have anything else, no, sir.
Okay. I think we talked about this at work session. I think that this is fairly straightforward, and it allows them to get going on a lot of the infrastructure for this development. I don't have any other comments. Do y'all?
No.
Entertain a motion?
So move with the 9 conditions.
With the conditions, yeah.
Okay, so I have a motion by Albert, second by Mike. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have item number 7, GMPC Resolution Number 2024-044. It's Fox Creek Amended Preliminary Master Development Plan / Final Master Development Plan, and there will be a public comment on this item.
All right. The owner and applicant request approval of an amended PMDP, revised FMDP for Fox Creek containing 138 single-family residential lots, 6 public rights of way, and 6 open space tracts on 59.4 acres zoned R8 PRD, medium density residential planned residential development district, located north of Long Hollow Pike and east of Arlington Park. The applicant proposes an amended PMDP, revised FMDP. Again, small reduction in lots, some changes to the stormwater and bio infrastructure for the development. Staff recommends that this be considered a minor amendment and recommends approval of resolution number 2024-044 with 12 conditions, and there will be a public comment.
This time, we'll open up public comment for item number 7. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment. And if there's a member from the applicant present.
Hey guys, Andrew Walters with Catalyst Design Group and joined by Cal Gentry. We're fine with all staff comments and ready to move forward. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions?
Like everything was addressed.
No, I'll make a motion that it be considered a minor amendment based on the fact that it's a reduction in lots and no change in circulation or use.
Second. I'll second that. Any discussion on that motion and second? All those in favor that it's a minor amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? So it passes, be a minor amendment. The only thing I'll say is I like the fact that we've increased the lot size for the lots that are up front along Long Hollow Pike. I know that there was some discussion about architecture, and y'all provided some, I guess, representation for what those would look like. So I appreciate y'all doing that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited to bring the side-loaded product there, which kind of has a dual face to it. And then we mentioned that the street moved a little bit further to the plan west, the connecting street to the parcel to the east. So,
Kind of centered it up more on the site.
yeah, centered it more on the site. It's not hitting the pond. And yeah, we're excited to move forward. Appreciate it.
Any other discussion? Entertain a motion?
Second.
Second. Motion by Albert, second by Eileen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to item number 8, GMPC Resolution Number 2024-039, Kirkpatrick Farm Annexation/Plan of Service. Assuming that's you, Jim.
The owner and applicant request planning commission to recommend to Gallatin City Council a resolution to annex 3 parcels totaling 106.85 acres and adopt a plan of service on the same property located north of Peach Valley Road and west of Woods Ferry Road. This is adjacent to city limits in many places. Staff recommends approval of resolution number 2024 -039 for the Kirkpatrick Farm property. And there will be a public comment.
Public comment.
On this item.
Okay, so at this time, we'll open up a public comment for item number 8. Seeing no one, I will close the public comment. Is there a representative for the applicant present? Yes, sir.
I'm the co-applicant. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Joe Kirkpatrick, 1287 12 Stones Crossing, Goodlettsville, Tennessee. We're working with the developer of the adjacent property right now to work out the easement for the utilities. So we're cooperating with them, and we have a developer, Sourceland LLC, and I think they're talking about working with Meritage Homes, which is a local builder. And so, I don't, I respectfully ask that you approve this annexation so we can get on with it. If you have any questions to me, I'm glad to answer them.
Okay. How many questions for the applicant? Okay. I think this is surrounded by city property. I personally think it makes sense and is the first step in a long process. So we'll definitely see more from this. We'll entertain a motion. If there's no questions. Motion to approve by Mike.
Second.
Second by Eileen. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is item number 9, GMPC Resolution Number 2024-040. It's Lower Station Camp Creek Phase 2 Annexation/Plan of Service. Jim?
The owner and applicant request the planning commission to recommend to the Gallatin City Council a resolution to annex 3 parcels totaling 34.45 plus or minus acres and adopt a plan of service on the same property. This is located northeast of Lower Station Camp Creek Road and southwest of Big Station Camp Boulevard. So this property is adjacent to city limits. The request to annex was done for all 5 parcels. However, they were brought forward in 2 separate proposals. So this map is a little bit hard to see, but it has the updated city limit lines incorporating the first 2 parcels of this assemblage. So this property is adjacent to city limits, and staff recommends approval of resolution number 2024-040, and there will be a public comment on this item.
Thanks, Jim. We'll open up a public comment at this time. If there's anyone that wishes to speak, can come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment, and I will ask for a representative from the applicant to come forward.
Good evening. My name is Clay Haynes, Public Square. I'm representing the 3 landowners. This is the second phase of the annexation. You guys have seen it many times before. More than happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions?
This makes sense?
Sorry, the other two approved, right? So
Yes. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve with all staff comments.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? No. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Next, we have item number 10, GMPC Resolution Number 2024-041. It is Nichols Place Phase 4 Preliminary Master Development Plan, and there will be a public comment on this item.
The owner and applicant request approval of a PMDP for Nichols Place Phase 4 on a portion of a 9.98 acre parcel zoned MRO, multiple residential and office district, located south of Nichols Lane and east of Ferguson Boulevard. The owner applicant requests approval for 32 units. This will be under a horizontal property regime consistent with previous phases of the Nichols Place development. The owner and applicant also requests for an alternate architecture for this, again, consistent with what was approved for phases 2 and 3. So no major changes for this project in terms of what has been approved previously. Staff recommends approval of resolution number 2024-041 with 8 conditions, and there will be a public comment.
Okay, thanks, Jim. This time, we'll open up a public comment. Being none, we'll close the public comment and ask for a representative from the applicant to come forward.
Luke Talley with CSDG, and we're in agreement with all staff comments and happy to answer any questions.
And this will be a recommendation of approval, which sends it to council. Just so y'all are aware. Any questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Eileen, second by Albert. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to item number 11, GMPC Resolution Number 2024-043, Tennessee Grasslands Clubhouse and Event Space Amended Preliminary Master Development Plan with a revised Final Master Development Plan.
Good evening, Commissioners. Charlie Pieri, Staff Planner. The owner and applicant request approval of an amended preliminary master development plan and revised final master development plan for the Tennessee Grasslands Clubhouse and Event Space improvements on 6.00 acres, on a 6.00 acre portion of 285.88 acre master plan located at 981 Plantation Boulevard. As you can see up on the screen right now, this is what the site currently looks like, and the proposed changes would be this right here. The Gallatin zoning ordinance, section 1507-030F, talks about the procedures to amending a preliminary master development plan and revising a final master development plan, and lists some specific items that would constitute a major or minor amendment. The proposed amendment would add an additional gathering space or increasing the current space that is there, and adding some golf cart parking, as well as improving some site landscaping and parking areas. This amendment will still be in keeping with the nature of the approved alternative architecture, and therefore staff recommends that the Planning Commission consider this a minor amendment to the preliminary master development plan. And we recommend the approval of Resolution 2024-043 with one condition.
Charlie. This item also has a public comment, so I'll open that up at this time. Seeing none, I will close the public comment and ask for a representative from the applicant to come forward.
Afternoon, Andrew Tarsi, Reagan Smith, Nashville, Tennessee, 315 Woodland Street, sorry.
It's okay. Do you have any questions for staff? You agree with
No,
their
no
comments?
issue. We had no issue with the comments, revised the plans per suggestions from staff, and resubmitted, so, no issues.
I think the only thing that came up in work session was the driveway width. Did we get that worked out?
Yeah, and we made sure to note that clearly on the plan so that once contractor and everybody gets a hold of it, that's clearly denoted to go in at the same width as existing.
Okay.
No issue with the driveway.
You what now?
Said, yeah, no issue with the driveway.
Okay, awesome. The first thing we need to do is figure out if this is a minor or major amendment. Do I hear a motion that it's either way?
Motion for a minor amendment.
Second. Any discussion on that motion?
Just one question.
Yes, sir.
I've looked at the plans, but I'm not sure I understand what was brought up last time. Does this amendment to the plan destroy the historical structure that's located behind the clubhouse?
So, yes, that is a part of the plans. Destroy is a
Well,
little bit of a heavy term.
No, is it removed?
Yes, it's going to be removed. The club has worked through many iterations to try to work around that structure over years. And I would say the unfortunate part is this is the most active side of the building as far as users go. And so the circulation for the golf carts and the users on foot, this just makes the most sense long-term. They do intend to reuse the material from that structure on site with it denoted with a plaque of some sort. That's what the preliminary plans are for the material.
So they intend to reconstruct it on site?
The plan is not to reconstruct it as is. It is to use the material, the stone material, in another structure, whether that be some type of small low-wall monument, something of that sort on site. It will not be an inhabitable space anymore.
I understand sometimes you can't work around a fixed point. I mean, like a tree is a really good example, with the drip line canopy. You try to preserve it, you can't work around it. But my question is this an amendment to an original plan which in any shape, form, or fashion guaranteed the preservation of that structure?
My understanding was that the preliminary plan did not have anything specific on this structure. And to that point, I know in our discussions with staff, it was never specifically brought to us that this holds some type of designation within the city of Gallatin. I could be wrong about that.
And if staff confirms that, I'll vote for it to be a minor amendment. Can anyone on staff answer whether or not there's, I'm only questioning whether city council needs to be, not consulted, but, need to have a role in this if it was guaranteed to preserve that structure. Can anyone answer if the original plan mentioned the preservation of that structure? It is a very historical structure. It dates back to the original plantation. Well, if no one can answer that, or can you, Charlie?
Commissioner Perry, when I put together my staff report, reading through the other previous plans, I did not see any details specifically to this building.
Okay. If no details were mentioned, then it's not, it's not changing what was requested before. That was just my concern I wanted to bring up. Thank you.
So that was discussion for a minor or a major amendment. Any other discussion related to that? No? All those in favor for it to be a minor amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? So minor amendment passes, yes, sir.
I did not hear a second on that. Was there a second?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It was, she made the motion and Albert seconded. Yes, sir. Thank you, Charlie. Okay, so now we go on to the plan itself. Are there any questions for the applicant or staff related to previous plans, proposed plans?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion on the floor to approve. I will second the motion so we can go to discussion. Is there additional discussion that needs to be had before this goes to a vote?
Do you mind elaborating a little bit on what you're doing to preserve the history of that? I know that you said you're reusing those and.
Yeah, the extent of my knowledge right now on the reuse of that material is that it will be clearly denoted as to its significance within the community, within the property that it originally lied. That's my understanding from ownership at this time. These plans do not specifically lay out at this time the intentions for that material, but my understanding is that it will be reused and acknowledged accordingly.
I don't intend to make it a condition, that wouldn't be right, but I certainly do hope that y'all do something to capture that so it's not permanently lost to the community.
I understand, and this was a part of the conversation at the work session as well, and it was well heard and acknowledged, and I think everyone understands that when this structure is taken down, that there will be quite a few eyes on what is used with that material. So I think it's in everyone's best interest that it will be acknowledged.
Well, I mean, it is a piece of history that's been lost, and I understand that we can't preserve everything, and sometimes it's impossible to work around something, but I really do hope that y'all go to some measures to capture that some way, and so it's not completely forgotten.
That's understood.
Did I note you to say that in its current condition, it's unsafe?
I'm not completely aware. I just know that it's not used for any significant, nobody inhabits the space. It's not used for any type of storage. I don't know if it's technically watertight. So I'm not familiar. I just know that within the context of this design, it was the best solution to move forward for the expansion of this clubhouse.
How many other historical buildings are near the clubhouse?
I'm not sure. And I'm not.
Is this a part of any registry?
That's more of my point earlier,
Yeah.
is our conversations did not lead to anything official. And so that's where kind of lacking in conversation.
Yes, sir. Do we have to, because we have a motion and a second on the floor and we're in discussion, do I have to suspend the rules?
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules to allow the gentleman to speak.
Second. Thank you.
My name's Jim Owsley. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Tennessee Grasslands. So I'm just stepping into this very, very new to the role and to the club. My understanding, there are other historical buildings like this cottage. There's 3 other cottages right by the clubhouse. There's also 5 mare barns that line the number 18 fairway on the entrance that had tornado damage that we're restoring also. To my knowledge, those are the buildings that are on the property that would have historical value. I'm pretty sure that they had met with the Historical Society regarding the cottage what we call cottage number 1, and they did not feel it had a historical value as far as preservation because of the amount of changes that it had undergone over the years, that it did not hold its original design or construction. So that's my understanding of where we stand on that now.
Okay. We'll have to open it back up. Do I have to open the discussion back up?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But, no, I
Appreciate the clarity and the additional information. Do you have something else to say, John?
I just want to say I agree with what he's saying. It is a very historical structure. It was actually, it was used though as, when Fairview was originally built, there was a promise to preserve these structures when it was when it was originally developed, 20 years ago. And this was one of the key ones in the discussion. But it has been modified significantly because it was used as a guest cottage for people coming and visiting Fairview. You could rent the room there, I think. And so in the process of making it an acceptable guest cottage, it had a lot of remodeling, kind of like the main house had so much remodeling done that it was removed from the historical register.
Okay.
I just all I want to do is make sure that the memory of it is somehow preserved. If a plaque could be incorporated in with a picture or some marker. I'm not sure what the structure was. It might have been a farm manager or an overseer's house. I don't think it was the blacksmith shop. But it is a part of the history of the plantation there. So that's all. I won't beat a dead horse on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I need any further comment?
Unless you have anything else to say.
No, I know in the conversations, using the brick from the structure, we are planning to do something, and there will be a plaque involved with that. I don't have details of the exact plans or what that looks like, but we are very sensitive to the historical nature of that building and having some type of preservation of that.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else to say? Okay, so we have a motion on the floor and a second. I guess we'll take it to a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. Thank you. So now we have item number 12, GMPC Resolution Number 2024-046, Smith Memory Motors Parking Addition, amended preliminary master development plan / revised final master development plan. Charlie.
The owner and applicant request approval of the amended preliminary master development plan and revised final master development plan for the Smith Memory Motors parking lot expansion on a 1.05 acre portion of a 1.05 acre master plan located east of Grassland Place and north of Nashville. I think I may have botched the address up on there again. So south of Nashville Pike is where I will call that. On the screen here is what the property currently looks like. This is what their final master development plan was. Over here is their parking lot expansion. This proposed amendment would add 16 additional parking spaces to the lot. Therefore, staff would recommend that the Planning Commission would consider this a minor amendment to the preliminary master development plan, and planning staff would also recommend that the commission approve resolution 2024-046 with one condition.
Charlie, we'll have a public comment section on this item. I'll open that at this time. Seeing none, I will close the public comment and ask for representatives from the applicant to come forward.
Drew Ferguson, Greenland Design, 114B West Main Street. Here to answer any questions.
Okay. Do you agree with staff comments?
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but I'm.
Okay. I'm assuming engineering is fine with the revisions.
Yeah, engineering didn't
The
have
added,
any.
okay, added pavement and everything. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? We have to vote whether
Make
this
a
is a
motion that
minor.
it'd be a minor amendment.
Okay. Second by Mike. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so it's a minor amendment. Any other questions for the applicant or for staff? Okay, motion to approve. Motion to approve by Albert,
Second.
second by Eileen. Any discussion? Yeah, seems very straightforward. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Move on to item number 13, GMPC Resolution Number 2024-047, Liberty Branch Condos, amended preliminary master development plan / revised final master development plan. Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The owner and applicant request approval of an amended PMDP and revised final master development plan for Liberty Branch condos, formerly Harris Lane condos, with 134 condominium units on 10.10 acres of MU mixed use, located north of Harris Lane and east of Greenway Boulevard at 258 Harris Lane. The owner and applicant are requesting this to add 42 square feet per unit to the 130 approved condos. This is an HPR development, so they are condos. Staff recommends this be considered a minor amendment to the approved plan and recommends approval of resolution number 2024-047 with 9 conditions, and there will be a public comment on this item.
Okay. Okay, so we'll open public comment at this time. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment and we'll ask a representative from the applicant to come forward.
Kyle Schneider, Clover Engineering, 3556 Tom Austin Highway, Springfield, Tennessee. We have no issue with any outstanding staff comments, and 9 conditions of approval seem something we can knock out here end of the week.
Awesome. No change in density, literally just adding 42 square feet, and you're incorporating a patio into the footprint. Okay.
Yep.
Any questions or discussion before we vote whether it's a minor or major amendment?
You answered my question.
Okay. I'll make a motion that it's a minor amendment.
Second.
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? So it's minor amendment. Any other questions related to the plan or anything else?
Just one question, and I'm looking in the notes to see if I can find the answer. What percentage of masonry are these structures?
I vote is 26 and 73% stone.
Did you find it?
Yeah. If I remember correctly, this one
It met-
actually met the 70% brick or stone requirement.
All I needed to know. Thank you.
And I guess my only question, usually whenever you start incorporating patios, we don't conflict with any setbacks or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
It had kind of had a covered patio.
Yeah.
And then a side patio, and we're just kind of covering that side patio.
Okay, cool. That's all the questions I have.
I'll make a
Entertain
motion to approve with non-staff conditions.
Second.
Okay, motion by John, second by Eileen. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Move on to our, I believe it's our final item. Regular agenda, well, before other business, is item number 14, GMPC Resolution Number 2024-048, Smith-Schuller-Milliken Driveway Amended Preliminary Master Development Plan / Revised Final Master Development Plan. Charlie?
The owner and applicant requests approval of an amended preliminary master development plan and a revised final master development plan for the Smith-Scholar-Milliken Driveway, which is part of the Nashville Pike North Master Plan. The subject property location is on a 1.2 acre portion of the 8.96 acre master plan. This is located east of North Martin's Vineyard Way, and north of Nashville Pike. On your screen, we have currently what the property looks like with the driveway connecting Nashville Pike to the property. And then the amended plan for this would be to have a secondary access off of, I believe that's Lifford Lane, to the rear of the property. That is what the proposed amendment is. This plan is consistent with the Gallatin on the Move and the Major Thoroughfare Transportation Plan. Staff recommends This would be considered a minor amendment to the preliminary master development plan for Nashville Pike North. And staff also recommends that the Planning Commission approves Resolution 2024-048 with 2 conditions. And there also is a public comment session.
Thanks, Charlie. Okay, this time we'll open up the floor for public comment. Seeing none, we'll close public comment and ask the representative from the applicant to come forward.
Drew Ferguson, Greenland Design, 114B, West Main. We agree to all staff comments and here to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions?
Looks great.
Yeah, sorry, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
So this is compliant with the Gallatin on the Move, Transportation and Corridor Plan, but am I correct in saying it's not compliant with the Nashville Pike Corridor Plan, is it?
This one is in compliant with that one. On that plan, this driveway to National Pike was shown to be there still.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you know, we made a comment last time at the work session about this, you know, in a perfect world, all of the driveways along Nashville Pike would disappear and connect to a backage road. But that plan did show this one remaining, so.
I don't know if it's appropriate under this, I think it is appropriate under this item. I just want to get it put into the minutes of the discussion that we need, I would formally request that we revisit the Nashville Pike Corridor Plan in a work session.
I would second that.
I'd second that too. We talked about that plan.
I feel like that plan comes up all the time, and we still don't have a resolution as to whether we're keeping it or revising it or.
Been enforced entirely consistent, and I think it's time we address that. But that might not be appropriate for this item. I can bring it up again under other business if you want me to, but it's in the minutes now, so.
Thank you, John. How steep is this driveway? Do you know?
10%.
Okay.
The one on the backside, the one where,
Yeah.
10%.
And is this just so to follow through with the request to connect to the backage road? Or is it to help them just have access on both sides?
I think it's for them to have access on both sides.
I know there was a lot of vegetation back there along there. Is there, are there any line of sight problems accessing that backage road?
I don't believe so. I didn't go out there and take pictures. We had somebody else in the office do that.
And I don't think there's line of sight triangle requirements on a driveway connection to a backage road, but, okay.
They wouldn't be as stringent because the speed limit along the backage road is much slower. So your line of sight is much, I guess, narrower, if that's the right word to use. Without getting too technical, but, okay. Any other questions? We have to vote whether or not this is a minor or major amendment.
Make a motion that be considered a minor amendment.
Second, so motion by John, second by, I believe it was Albert. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? So it's a minor amendment to the applicant.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Eileen,
Two conditions.
second by Albert. Any discussion? Good, John? Okay. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
To
So really, I just wanted to do a quick report for the commission. We had our TAPA conference this past weekend and had several of us out there. In my opinion, it was a great conference, a lot of good discussion, a lot of good sessions that were provided. Of course, you know, it's a great venue as well. Fall Creek Falls is a beautiful location. We had some really good weather while we were there too. So made for, I think, a really good opportunity to collaborate with other planners, hear other people's thoughts, get some ideas about things that we might be able to do here, see some great plans. Just overall, thought it was a really good opportunity to learn and get some credits for me, at least, for my AICP. And then, looking forward to, future opportunities for you all to learn as well. If you guys have ideas or thoughts that, came to you while you were at the conference and you want to, put it out there for us to think about what we might be able to do for Gallatin as a result of, hearing what they saw or thought or did. Please bring those ideas forward. I mean, the reason why you're there is not just to listen and get your 4 hours worth, but, to hopefully bring forward any thoughts or ideas that you might have, as well as, give us some good guidance on what we can do here. So just, I guess, let us know and the planning staff if you think we could maybe take one of those ideas and move them forward. We'd like to try to take anything that we can and do what we can to make it better here. So that's the only thought that I had, but I mean, if you guys have any thoughts or comments?
Afternoon. Did I remember to send that? Okay, well, I'll go back and do it again, or do it the first time. So as we're rewriting our zoning ordinances, I brought this up before about trying to find a way to incentivize rather than disincentivize the inclusion of street trees within the right-of-way. Right now, our zoning ordinance is, if you look at it, it really, everything gets in it. The lady I met from the city of Knoxville, she was a planner with the city of Knoxville, provided me with 2 or 3 links to studies that the city of Knoxville did, which provided empirical data, proof that street trees, not only for aesthetic purposes, street trees also help in lane narrowing to reduce speeds on the streets. And so I have those links I'll send to you.
Okay.
And if you could maybe share those with the members of the commission if they want some fun reading. I think it's pretty interesting stuff to look through there.
Yeah.
Did y'all talk or have discussion regarding the width of the grass strip?
I did not talk, I only had a few minutes to talk to her, but it's in there.
Okay.
And also the issue of, I know that a lot of people have expressed concern when we discuss street trees. They've expressed concern about the roots degrading the sidewalk and upheaving it. But there's a new product out there called Sylvan cells. Are you familiar with those? Which
Barely. I mean, I know of them.
provides the structure that you need under a walk, and you fill it to compact the media for the hardscape. That allows the tree roots to traverse under the walk and out into the green space beyond without upheaving the walk, and you don't have to compact it with gravel underneath it. So there are ways to do this, and I really think we need to look at it, because as we have more and more developments coming through with, out of necessity, very small lots, we end up having 5-foot side yard setbacks, 15-foot front and rear yards, maybe 20-foot rear yards. We're going to find that our developments have no vegetative canopy. When I flew into the Northeast recently, I flew over an area that was very, very high density. I don't think there was a stick of vegetation on the property taller than 10 feet. There was no canopy. So I'm sure that people may say, well, this is of interest to you because you grow trees. No, this is of interest to me because I want a community with trees. And right now, everything in our zoning ordinance makes it very difficult for a developer who wants to include that to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even throw out there that I believe that if we go with an 8-foot strip, that we should be counting the 8-foot strip as part of their open space requirements, even though it's in right-of-way. So there, my soapbox.
What did you call it again for the?
Sylvan cells, and I can send you, yeah, I'll send you Sylvan cells, Sylvin. It's a fairly new product. Well, it's been out there 10 years or so. But I'll send that. That's better than the previous approach we were taking, which is just root barriers, or 18-inch vertical root barrier The problem with those is the roots of the trees in the street right away, especially a 5-foot strip, are confined to that narrow strip, and then they're not very stable in heavy storms. They don't have the structure to keep them.
And then you're relying on, if it's in a community, you're relying on the HOA to replace them. And then they'll argue that it's in the right of way.
Well, that's something that we need to address, and other communities have addressed it. I know what you're talking about as a hold harmless
Harmless,
and
yeah.
maintenance agreement. But if we keep taking that approach, we are going to find our communities have no tree cover at all.
Bare, yeah.
And I don't think that's a place that we want to be.
Okay.
Soapbox concluded.
And Brian, anything else?
That's it for me, yeah.
Anyone else from the commission or staff?
We need to put an email to you that we got our our private property right requirements fulfilled, or do you have that recorded, those that were there? We do need to send you an email?
What's that?
Those that we're required to get 4 hours of private property rights and continuing education points a year, and this session fulfilled that, so.
Okay. We still have an opportunity in the fall, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll have, now we may not have funds in the budget because of this session that we did for everybody. And of course, everybody who's got it fulfilled may not have to,
Yeah.
go to a second one, but, we'll still have a little bit of a budget left over for the fall conference to be able to
Cool.
attend that. So for anybody who missed, or, if there's leftovers and we can still send more people, we'll definitely try to do that.
Okay. I'm assuming we covered announcements in that category as well. Okay. Motion to adjourn? Second.